Okay, here we are. This was an emergency must-make video for today. Puzzle Masters 2 just came to the game. This is a pretty well anticipated set. It's an expansion on Puzzle Masters, and I'm looking at this blind. I've only seen some of the preview cards. I haven't even looked at everything yet. I haven't looked at the release notes. Haven't done anything. So I'm just giving it to you raw. And let's look at what I've got so far. So I got some Puzzle Masters 2 packs to open here. They gave me the new Saurin. I haven't looked at him. Haven't looked at his abilities yet or anything. So I gotta share with you what I am going to get here. So let's do this. So let's look at the cards we can get. Guaranteed non-duplicate. Wow, so much to go through here. 115 cards. Okay, so let's start with Puzzle Masters 2. My first pull from this set. Electrozoa. At the beginning of your turn, energize 2. Overload 1. Each opposing creature gets -2/-2. Okay, that's not bad. It's got flash for some reason, and it's a 3/2. So overload 1, each opposing creature gets -2/-2. That could be alright. I don't hate that card. Okay, so we'll be spending many crystals there, but let's do this first. These are the packs I got from, that come with the new Saurin. Warren, Soul Trader, 10 mana, 3/3 zombie, goblin, wizard. When a non-token creature you control dies or loses reinforcement, create a gold token. Ooh, okay. That's going in my Knowledge's Power deck. When a non-token support you control loses shield, create a goblin token. Oh, okay. That's not bad. Yeah, there's things we can do with that, for sure. Cool. Sounds like an interesting card. And then let's go with white pack here. Golden Tail Trainer. At the beginning of your turn, he's a Fox Samurai with Bravery. 13 mana. You better be good. At the beginning of your turn, equipment cards in your hand gain 6 mana. Okay, that's not bad. When this creature attacks, your creatures get +X/+X. X is this creature's power. Okay, you can possibly pair this with cards like the Mythic Cat from Ixalan. You can pair this guy with the Ordinary Tumblewag from Outlaws at Thunder Junction. So there's ways to buff this creature in a way to make him stronger. And then it looks like the buff is permanent. So that's actually very good. Yeah, this card is playable for sure. Not great on its own, but it definitely helps to buff other creatures. But yeah, great. I'm not mad about that. Okay, let's just open some packs here. Let's just pull them and see what we get. I got 3,000 crystals to use. I'm not going to use them all, but I'm going to go through a lot. Soy Myco Spawn, 13 mana. Devoid, 3/3, Eldrazi Fungus. When this creature enters the battlefield, process 3, fetch the first support card from your library with mana value 9 or less. That card gains full mana. Okay. When an improved gem is destroyed, increase all your positive mana bonuses by 2 until end of turn, up to 4. Okay. So that's going to take a little bit of figuring out to maximize there, but it's an okay card. I don't think it's great. Let's keep going. So it looks like all the colors are in the same pack. Then it's separated out by color, which is nice. Rashen, Roaring Prophet, 20 mana for a 4/4. Okay. Giant Shaman. At the beginning of your turn, destroy the top X cards of your library. X is half the number of red and green gems on the board rounded down. Okay. Then for each creature card destroyed this way, you gain 2 mana. Okay. At the end of your turn, drain all mana from your hand. Dang. Then deal Y mana to each non-token creature into your opponent's planeswalker. Y is the amount of mana drained this way. Okay, that's interesting. You need ways to get a lot of mana in your hand. I mean, there's a lot of ways of doing that right now. But, do we like this? Do we like all that draining mana? I don't know. I don't think I do. Not sure I'm going to like this card that much, but we'll see. Flare of Fortitude. 13 mana spell card. Beginning of combat on your turn, if this card is in your hand and doesn't have full mana, you may destroy target non-token creature you control. If you do, this card gains full mana. Okay, that can help with creature destruction abilities. Your planeswalker gains prevent damage till the beginning of your next turn, and creatures you control gain shield counter 1. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that is awesome. Planeswalker gaining prevent damage as a spell. Yeah, I'm going to use this. That's really cool. Not sure yet where, but yes, I like. That's one I'm happy about getting. The Hunger Tide Rises, 3 Golgari insect tokens. What do they do again? Oh, there's just 1/1s. 3, okay. So you're creating 6 tokens. Destroy all creature tokens you control, then return the first creature card base cost mana X or less from your graveyard to battlefield. If you can't fetch the first creature card from your library with mana cost X, put the card into play and your control X is 10 plus the number of creatures you control this way, including the reinforcements. That's interesting. Destroy all token creatures you control. Do you want to do that to yourself though? Is there an instance where you want to destroy all your creature tokens? I'm not totally sure. I'm gonna have to think about this one. Again, it's one of those for certain objectives. Maybe you want to do that, but not sure yet. Yeah, it's fine. Not one I think I'll use very often. Argent Deus. When the support enters the battlefield or enters the board, energize 2. Okay, so that's 12 mana, 4 shields. At the beginning of combat on your turn, energize 1. Overload 3. Destroy a random opposing support. If you can't destroy a random opposing creature, then you draw 2 cards. Okay, that's not bad. It's really built around Energize, but it is a decent card, I guess. Destroying random. Yeah, then drawing 2 cards. Yeah, I don't hate it. Let's keep going. Polluted Delta. Okay, this is one of the ones that were already spoiled. Mana field, convert 6 gems to blue or black. When a support loses shield, fetch the first land support from your library. That card gains X mana. X is half the number of blue and black gems on the board rounded down. Then, at the end of your turn, the support loses 1 shield, then deal 2 damage to your planeswalker. Okay, so it can fetch other lands for you. Possibly this one as well. But other ones you can do too. They're okay. Yeah, mana field, converting 6 gems to blue or black is decent, but if it wasn't mana field and it was just, just converted a set amount of gems every turn, I think I would like it more, but it's fine. We'll have to see how much I like it. In use. Winter Moon. When your opponent converts gems during their turn in just 1. Okay. When you match the support's gem by swap, process 3. Okay. Decrease all mana bonuses of your opponent's planeswalker by 1 until beginning of your next turn. That's alright. I don't know. I don't think it does enough to justify a slot in most decks. I will have to see if we get any other PMA. If I get any other of those Eldrazi's, then maybe that's a better card than it looks at first glance, but I wasn't too impressed. Okay, finally we get ourselves a Mythic. Emperor of Bones. 8 mana 2/2 Skeleton Noble. When this creature enters the battlefield, each card in your hand gains the skeleton subtype. When you cast a skeleton card, this creature gets +2/+2. Then return the first skeleton card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. This card gains X mana. That card gains X mana. X is this creature's power. Okay. I don't know how many other skeletons are in the game, but I wonder if this keeps the skeleton subtype in the graveyard. Or creatures that gain the skeleton subtype, do they gain them? Do they keep them in the graveyard? That will remain to be seen. Getting low on crystals here, but that's okay. Probably have a couple more left to do. Rawl and the Implicit Maze. Deal 2 damage to each opposing creature. Then each opposing Vanguard support loses 2 shield. That's okay. What's the second? Then draw a card. That card gains X mana. X is the number of spell cards in your graveyard. Okay, this is something we can do something with here. If we're proliferating / escalating, then we're going to be triggering our sagas, and we can do that over and over again if we're playing with something like Inexorable Tide. And if we put a lot of spell cards in our hand or in our deck, we're going to be casting those, putting them in the graveyard. Then every time we proliferate, we're going to be drawing that card and gaining X mana. Yeah, I like this one. This one is going to be a loop enabler for sure. You just got to pair it with Inexorable Tide. Yeah. This is up my alley for sure. Deem Inferior. When you draw a card during your turn, if this card is in your hand, reduce this card's cost by 1 until the beginning of your next turn. Return each opposing creature to the top of its owner's library. That's awesome. Wow, for only 10 or 12 mana, and it's got flash. Yeah, that's a sweet card. Damn, that's cool. I like it. Creature wipe for you, or a creature wipe with flash for 12 mana. Always going to be in standard. That is sweet. Yeah, I like that. That was a good pull. I think I only got one more pack. Proud Pack Rhino, another mythic. It's got Bravery, 3/3, 14 mana. When a creature enters the battlefield, or when this creature enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain shield counter 2. I like that. At the beginning of your turn, enlist 2 gems, then proliferate. Okay. Yeah, that's not bad. Creatures you control gain shield counter 2 is cool too. It's got Bravery for no real reason. I don't know what that's doing with that, but oh no, this is a symbol. Okay, not Bravery. Got you. Okay. I'm alright with it. Okay. One more pack after this one. Harbinger of the Seas, Merfolk Wizard. When non-blue gems would be converted, convert those gems to blue instead. Oh, interesting. Then all colored bonuses of that then all colored mana bonuses of that player's planeswalker become 0 until beginning of your next turn. Oh, okay. Weird card. Interesting. It's definitely a new design idea for sure. So I don't know. Is this more of a defensive card or what? That one's going to be a weird one. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'll have to play around with it to see how that goes. It's an interesting card. Okay, this is my last pack here. I didn't think I would pull, but I couldn't help myself. Felia, Exuberant Shepherd. Aw, it's a dog. He's cute. Aw, it's a corgi. 13 mana, flash. Legendary 2/2 dog. When this creature attacks, destroy an opposing card at random. That's good already. At the end of your turn, return the last card from your opponent's hand or graveyard into play under your control. Then this creature gets +2/+2. Yeah, that second part of this card makes me not want to play it that much. That's a weird one. It was almost playable. Just take out the last... yeah, just take out the whole middle part of this card, and I would actually like it and use it. Okay, well, that is that. I will look at the rest of the cards here in a sec. But, yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so let's look at some of these cards in here. So Benic Anomaly was one that was spoiled before, so we don't have to really go through it too much. Final Act. Oh, they gave me Final Act to play with because it was one of the cards I spoiled, so that's awesome. We'll try that out. Localized Destruction, Energize 3. Then if you control 6 or more improved gems, creatures you control gain shield, counter 2, and destroy all opposing creatures. So that's awesome. We like destroying opposing creatures. And then our creatures gain shield, counter 2. Sweet. Magar, the Magic Strings. This was also spoiled. Omo, Queen of Vesuva. 10 mana masterpiece. Changeling. When this creature enters the battlefield or attacks, this creature gains +3/+1 in a random basic evergreen it doesn't have. Oh, I always liked those cards that gave you basic evergreens, like that crystallized golem or something like that. Then if its power is equal to its toughness, this creature gains prevent damage. At the end of your turn, creatures gain changeling. Wow. Okay. Creature gains prevent damage. So if you have a bunch of random evergreens on it, then it can be really tough to deal with. I like it. It's a weird card, but I do like it. Rampant Frogantua. Yeah, they just spoiled this card too. This will be fun with a lot of my new masterpiece lands, because I'm going to be putting a lot of lands into my deck. So we're going to be seeding gems, seeding them, destroying. Yeah. And then when a creature dies, this creature gets... Why is that creature's power? So if you're destroying big baddies on your opponent's side, then this guy's going to grow by a lot. And it's also got Leyline. So yeah, it's going to be destroying a lot of cards in your library. Yeah, this card is nuts. I like it a lot. Salvation Colossus. Artifact Construct. White. It's got Trample, Vigilance, and Flying. And is that Bravery? Yeah, it is Bravery. 24 mana, 9/9. At the beginning of your turn, Energize 3. Okay. When it is a white creature. When this creature attacks, your creatures get +2/+2 and gain prevent damage, trample, and berserker until end of turn. Wow. Okay. Overload 1. Creatures you control get +2/+2. Then the last card buried in your graveyard that can gain mana gains 3 mana. I feel like that was just kind of thrown in there, but yeah, really good card. It's 24 mana, but we'll have ways of getting it out there. Support card, Enchantment Aura. Okay. When you gain an extra swap, gain 5 loyalty. At the end of your turn, create a copy of random non-token card you control in your hand, then a random card in your hand gains full mana. Okay, yeah. So this will go great with the rest of the blue. With blue PMA 1, this will go great with it. Yeah, that's a cool card. It's only 12 mana. It is a masterpiece, though, so it's going to be tough to get. Ether Revolt. Support card enchantment. When this support enters the board, deal 5 damage to each opposing creature. When a creature you control dies, energize 1. Overload 2, deal 5 damage to each opposing target. Then ignite 3 red gems. Okay, so they're doing things with energize and overload. Not sure if I think this card is good or not. Each opposing target. So that means your opponent's planeswalkers getting damage dealt too. So that's cool. Yeah, that's pretty good. Overload 2, though, means it's going to be a little bit limited in how many times you're actually going to be able to do that, unless there's a way to really just flood the board with energized gems that they're going to give us here. So we'll see. Enlist 6 gems. Wow, that's a lot. Exile each opposing creature of power X or less. X is the number of enlisted gems on the board. Okay, so good one with Healer of the Pride. Create X Ajani Soldier tokens. X is the number of enlisted gems on the board. Then your creatures gain vigilance and prevent damage until the beginning of your next turn. That's a good card. I think this one is actually a very playable white PMA card. Or PM2, but we've had really bad PM1 white cards, but this one is actually worth playing for sure. That's good. Oh yeah, Johnny Fels the Gold Sire. Amphibian Downpour, another enchantment aura, blue, cannot be reinforced. When an opposing non-token creature enters the battlefield, destroy that card. Wow. Then create a frog token under your opponent's control. Wow. The end of your turn, if your opponent controls a token named Frog, this support loses 1 shield. Okay. Drain X mana from the first 2 cards in your opponent's hand. X is equal to the amount of blue gems on the board. Wow, that is a really destructive card. Yeah, when an opponent would cast a creature, they would cast a frog instead. God, that is going to be annoying. Oh my god. That is a nutso card. Oh, I'm going to hate playing that against that card. Sheesh. Okay. That is pack support destruction, guys. As much as you can at this point, because there are some good cards out there. Arna Kennerud Sky Captain. 4/4 knight with flying and lifelink. Tricolor. Good to know for M5. 16 mana. Activate 1 black. This creature gains hexproof until the beginning of your next turn. Activate 1 blue. Create a copy of random non-token support card you control in your hand. Gains X mana. When this creature attacks, your creatures get +X/+X. X is equal to the highest base power among creatures you control. Okay, pretty solid card all around. All of your creatures get a permanent buff when this creature attacks. And it's going to be at least 4 because this creature has a base power of 4. So, yeah, pretty decent creature. Not amazing, but definitely playable. Ashling Flame Dancer. When you cast a spell card, ignite 2 gems. Then if there are 6 ignited gems on the board or more, you gain 8 mana. Oh, okay. When you cast a spell card, you potentially gain 8 mana. When you match 1 or more ignited gems, deal 2 damage to each opposing target, then draw a card. Dang. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely one that I think will be good for looping, possibly. Yeah, especially when you pair it with that roll, that saga, the new red saga I got. Yeah, that's a good one. Birthing Ritual, 18 mana, enchantment with 5 shields. When the support enters the board, seed 4 gems. Okay, already like that. At the end of your turn, pick and fetch one of the first 4 cards from your library. When a creature you control dies. Oh, well, yeah, that's a good one. Even so, just fetching a card you want from your library. When a creature you control dies, for the first time each turn, move the last creature card from your hand to play under your control. Then your creatures gain Leyline. Okay, yeah. So you can do some enter the battlefield shenanigans with that. And you give them all Leyline. That's pretty cool. I definitely want to play around with this card if I get it. Not sure if it's great or not, but I think it's pretty good. Cthulhu Nightmare, 15 mana. It's got Corrupt. There we go. When you match a corrupted gem by swap, return this card to your hand. It gains half its mana rounded down. Oh, sorry, I skipped a part. When this support enters the board, corrupt 3 gems and return the first creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, so you can do a little bit of a... It's a little bit of a 1-card combo happening there. Cool. Crabomination. Crab Demon, 18 mana. It's got Defender, 8/8. When this creature enters the battlefield, exile a random card from your graveyard. When this creature dies, return a random card from your exile to your hand. It gains full mana. Okay. Some graveyard resurgence from via your exile. Interesting card. Pretty cool. I think it's pretty good. Detective's Phoenix, 14 mana. 4/4 flying with haste. At the beginning of your turn, investigate. Interesting. Then ignite 2 gems. Alright. When you match 1 or more ignited gems, as this card is in your graveyard, return this card to the battlefield under your control. Only 1 ignited gem it takes. Wow. Okay. Then collect evidence 2. Evidence collected. Reinforce this creature 3 times. That's pretty solid. Interesting. It's a pretty difficult card to get rid of then. If you're going to be using investigate gems. Or, if you're going to be creating clue tokens and stuff. But I don't know. Will we be getting clue tokens in this deck? Or in this set? We'll see. Creature, Elf Warrior. When a non-creature... 18 mana, 3/3, but it's got Leyline. I keep doing that. When a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, seed a gem. When you trigger Leyline, you may have this creature gain can't attack until end of turn. If you do, fetch the first creature card from your library and move it into play under your control. Okay. Then reinforce each creature you control. Otherwise, seed a gem. Okay. It's alright. It definitely has a lot of things going for it, but the whole thing meaning having it gain attack kind of weakens it in a way for me. Emperor of Bones we talked about. Emrakul, the World Anew. This was also a spoiled card. I think Nalthazar spoiled it. So you could definitely watch his video to see what you get from that. Fang of Colonia. Spell card, 14 mana. Seed 2 gems. Target creature you control gains Leyline. Reinforce each creature you control. Then reinforce each creature you control X times. X is the number of those creatures' reinforcement. Oh my god, that's going to be nutty. Oh man, if you play this with Knowledge is Power, that's going to be insane. This card is nuts. I like it. Man, that's strong. Okay, cool. Moving on. Haragast, Erupting Nut. I'm only going through some of these quickly because I still have almost 80 cards to go. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to look at all of them. At the beginning of your turn, if this card is in your hand, ingest 2. When this creature enters the battlefield, discard your hand. Then fetch the first 3 cards from your library. When a non-token creature you control dies or loses a reinforcement, each creature card in your hand gains Devoid. Okay. So it is an Eldrazi Dragon. So we are ingesting. Discard your hand and fetch the first creature. I don't know if I like this one. It's interesting, but I don't like discarding my hand when I enter the battlefield. It can be useful, though. You're fetching 3 creature cards from your library, so if you're using this for casting creature objectives, then maybe it's pretty cool. I think it will be a very niche card to be using, but I think it does have some utility. Imsker Iron Eater, 21 mana. Sheesh. 5/5, it is dual color, black and red. This card costs 3 less for each artifact card you control. Okay. So gold tokens is gonna make this thing super cheap. When this creature enters the battlefield, draw X cards and lose X life. Okay. X is half the number of artifact cards you control, including their reinforcements, rounded down. When an artifact control is destroyed or leaves a reinforcement, deal Y damage to a random opposing target. Why is this card's base mana? Oh, wow. So if you're destroying gold tokens, you are going to be just shredding your opponent in all different ways. Okay, that's a strong card. Yeah. Okay. This card kind of redeemed itself at the end. I wasn't super sold on it, but yeah, that's devastating. I like it. Kozilek's Unsealing. Blue enchantment when a creature attacks in just one, okay. At the end of your turn, process 3, create an Eldrazi token, then draw 3 cards. And the Eldrazi is going to be the 10/10 token that we've seen before. That's good. That's pretty solid. Where did we go? Okay. Pretty decent card. You're going to definitely want to play it with other Devoid cards, I think. But yeah, creating a 10/10 every turn, drawing 3 cards every turn, not bad. Kozilek, the Broken Reality. I think this was another one of either Nalthazar's or Gauz's. And yeah, it's pretty solid. I do want it. I have ways to really mass exile my opponent's library, so I'm definitely going to want to do that. Metastatic Evangel. Phyrexian Human Cleric. 1/1 white. 15 mana. When a creature enters the battlefield under your control, proliferate. Then reinforce that creature. Wow. Okay. When you proliferate, reinforce this creature. Okay. Yeah. When a creature you control is reinforced for the first time each turn, destroy an opposing support at random. This can affect Vanguard supports. Wow. This is hating on your opponent. That is... okay, so it's only one time a turn, but still. When a creature enters the battlefield and you control, proliferate. I like that. That is going to be something really fun to build around. I definitely want to chase that one. Necro Dominance. 15 mana, 3 shields, mana field, and then corrupt. Mana field. You gain 2 loyalty for each corrupted gem on the board. Okay. At the beginning of your turn, draw 2 cards, then corrupt 2 gems. Okay. At the end of your turn, discard a card. Interesting. Okay. This is definitely going to be more of like a little combo piece. Gaining loyalty is nice. Valiana, probably going to want this card for that. Planeswalker, because you want to gain loyalty as quick as possible with her, so that's a good way of doing it. You'll be corrupting gems and gaining loyalty from them. Nice. Nether Goyf. It is a Lurgoyf. 10 mana, 2/3. It's got escape and bury 12. When this creature attacks, this creature if you don't remember what escape is, while this creature is in your graveyard, if it has full mana, you have 3 or more other cards in your graveyard. Exile 3 other cards from your graveyard and cast this card. So it's a little bit of a complicated mechanic that I never really liked, but let's see what they do with it. When this creature attacks, this creature gets +X/+X. X is the number of cards in your graveyard. Okay, well that's nuts. Then your turn, destroy the top 3 cards of your library. Ooh, okay, this is a strong card. It's also got buried as well. Yeah, that's a good card. That's solid. Ocelot Pride. Okay, 12 mana, 1/1 with First Strike and Lifelink. So it's got a couple things going for it. Beginning of your turn, enlist 2 gems. When you gain life during your turn, create 3 Ajani Soldier tokens. At the end of your turn, reinforce each token creature you control. Okay, so that's going to be cool to pair with the Eldrazi's, right? Because you're going to be creating those 10/10s. They're going to be reinforcing. Yeah. It's an okay card. It's not amazing. It'll be fun to master, but it's never going to be a staple creature for me. Party Thrasher, a lizard wizard. Somebody had fun with the subtypes here. 13 mana, 1/4. At the beginning of your turn, discard the last 2 cards from your hand, then ignite 2 gems. At the beginning of the combat on your turn, draw 2 cards. Okay, so the 2 cards you draw, you're going to be discarding them, though. And then you're going to be igniting 2 gems. When you match one or more igniting gems, convert 5 gems to red. Okay, that's where this card gets good. 5 gems to red from matching one or more igniting gems. So Koth is going to love this card. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, any mono red walker, I think this is a good one to pair with. If you have Rite of Flame from PM1, a good pairing with this card as well. Yeah, I like it. Flage, Titan of Fire's Fury, 10 mana. 10 mana for a 6/6 is pretty good, and it's got buried, even though it's buried 15. When this creature enters the battlefield, this card didn't escape it, destroy it. Oh, okay. When this creature enters the battlefield or attacks, deal 8 damage to any opposing target and gain 8 life. Okay, so you're still getting utility out of it, even if it's destroyed. This creature enters the graveyard from anywhere, create up to 4 graveyard gems. Okay, so this is one of those types of cards that is creating graveyard gems from the graveyard. There are a couple other cards that do that. So there will be ways of getting mana into your buried cards in the set, so that's nice. When your opponent casts their first power balance, 20 mana red enchantment. When your opponent casts their first card each turn, draw a card. Then the last card in your hand gains X mana. X is that card's base mana cost, then ignite a gem. Wow, okay. So that's cool. Yeah. You're going to be gaining mana from your opponent casting cards. That's pretty cool. I kind of like this card. 20 mana is a little steep for that, but it is possible to get a lot of utility out of this card. I'm going to also be igniting a gem. I think I'll like this card, but I don't know if it'll become a staple card or anything. There's a lot of good cards in the set so far, and I've only gone through less than a third of them. So, I don't know if I'll be able to go through this. I think I'll probably go another 10 minutes or so through the cards, and then we'll just have to do a part 2. Primal Prayers, support card enchantment. At the beginning of your turn, energize 3. Okay. Gonna be energizing a lot with this. 19 mana, 5 shields. Overload 2. The last creature card in your hand gains half its mana, then that card gains Leyline. When this support loses shield, gain 9 mana. Ooh, that's nice. The last card. If you're going to be converting a lot of gems to green, you're probably going to be hitting this card. So, yeah, I think this will be a good card. Overload 2. The last creature card in your hand gains half its mana. I didn't even think of that, but that's also a very solid ability. Very strong card. Yeah, I like it. 6. Tree Folkland. It's only 2/4 with reach, but it does have Leyline, which is probably not going to help a lot on your opponent's turn, though, because I think Leyline only, during your turn. So let's see. 20 mana, that's a lot for a 2/4 with reach. When a land support enters the board under your control, seed 2 gems, then destroy the top 3 cards of your library. Okay. When you trigger Leyline, return the first non-land creature from your graveyard into play under your control. Okay. Then reinforce it X times. X is the amount of seed gems on the board. Wow. Okay, so you're probably only going to be getting utility from this card the first couple turns you use it, because I think it's going to die too quickly unless you do something to make it prevent damage, or give it prevent damage, I should say. So this is a strong card, but there's a lot of downside to it as well. I don't know. I'll have to see. There are ways of getting things from the graveyard into play again, so maybe you pair it with that. It's fun, a fun one. Yeah, this will be fun to build around, I think. Skittering Precursor, red Eldrazi Drone, 11 mana. It's got Menace, Devoid, 3/3. When this creature enters the battlefield, ingests 4. That's pretty good. When a creature you control dies, process 4. Create 3 Eldrazi Scion tokens that ignite 5 gems. Okay, yeah. When a creature you control dies, so you're going to be creating Eldrazi Scion. So pair it with this guy who's going to die pretty quickly. So yeah, pretty solid. Igniting 5 gems is not bad either. Pretty good. Strict Serenade. Yeah, this card is really good. It was also spoiled yesterday, I want to say. But yeah, Strict Serenade, 7 mana. This support cannot be reinforced. The support can't gain shield, so it's always going to be a 2/2, or it's always going to be a 2 shield card there. When your opponent casts a card, destroy that card. If you do, create a bird token under your opponent's control. At the end of your turn, the support loses 1 shield. When a support is destroyed, put it at the bottom of your library. So it's going to be difficult to really keep recurring it, but it is a very solid card when it's on the board and it lasts a turn. Your opponent's cards are going to be destroyed when they cast them. So if you flood the board with this, there's more likely that they're going to survive long enough so that you can do that. But they made it so it's not easy to do that. But yeah, I'll have to think about it some more and figure out how to really break this card and make it super annoying for people to have to deal with. But I think it's a good card, for sure. It's fragile, though, and it probably should be for that ability. Tamiyo meets the Story Circle. All opposing creatures get -12, -0. Okay, that's going to be pretty decent lockdown. You may discard the last card in your hand, then create X clue tokens. Okay, so we're going to have a permanent way to create clue tokens. I like that. X is half that card's mana value rounded down. Okay, that's pretty good. So this will help with Follow the Bodies because you're going to be collecting evidence for that. And Follow the Bodies is such a staple card for me nowadays. So this is a good one to pair with that. Return the last 2 cards from your graveyard to your hand. Those cards gain full mana. Okay. Yeah, this is I mean, all these abilities are good. So yeah, this is one I'm definitely going to want to use. The Creation of Avacyn. Oh yeah, this is one that I got from the Saurin pack. Destroy all creature reinforcements. All of your creatures reinforcements. Okay. You lose X life and gain X loyalty. X is the sum of the power of all creatures. Oh man, that is brutal. I mean, that's a lot of loyalty. You'll probably be at full loyalty, but you're going to be losing a lot of life. So you're going to have to pair this with Angel of Suffering if you don't want to like die right away or be close to dying. Gosh, you got to be careful with this card. You could easily kill yourself with it, I think. Yeah, be careful there. Create 4 Vigilant Angel tokens and your creatures gain lifelink. Vigilant Angel tokens, I think they're the 4/4 angels. Where'd it go? Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. So that's going to be 16 power on the board, and they're going to gain lifelink. Okay. So there are some good things about this card, but you just got to be really careful with that second chapter. Yugan's Binding. ingest 3, then return target opposing creature to their owner's hand. Okay, so it's a bounce spell. At the beginning of your turn, if this card is in your graveyard, drain 2 mana from the first card in your opponent's hand. Oh, that's nice. So I'm wondering if you have multiple cards in your hand or in your graveyard, if you have multiple copies of this card in your graveyard, will it trigger for each spell? Because if it does, then this card is very, very useful in your graveyard, and yeah, gonna be worth using. Ingest 3 is pretty interesting as well. So a lot of blue Eldrazi token, a lot of blue cards interacting with the Eldrazi, all that. So interesting. Yugan's Labyrinth. Support card land, 15 mana, 3 shields. When a support enters the board, exile the last card from your hand. That card gains a Prism emblem. When you match this support's gem by swap, gain 10 mana. Okay. When the support is destroyed, return the first card with the Prism emblem from your exile in your hand. Card gains full mana. Alright. Then disable it until the beginning of your next turn. Aw, man. So matching the support's gem by swap, gaining 10 mana is pretty decent. I just don't think this card is going to be that reliable. It's potentially a good card, but a lot of it is left up to chance, really. Yeah, we'll see. Ulamog the Defiler. This was one that I spoiled, so that's going to be fun. Yeah, number of cards in opponent's exile. Yeah, I definitely have a spot in my deck for this card. Yeah. This might be the last one. I think it's going, this video is going on long, so I'll definitely come back with a part 2 as soon as I have some more time. 14 mana, flying, hexproof, 3/2 Drake. When this creature enters the battlefield, gain control of the last opposing creature. Ooh, nice. Wait, then your opponent gains control of this card. So you guys kind of swap creatures. Huh, okay. At the beginning of combat on your turn, energize 2. That this has, then if has 4 more energized gems on the board, return this card to its owner's hand. It gains full mana. Okay. It's an interesting card. It's a way to steal your opponent's creatures, and a way to continuously do it. It's a bit of a complicated card. I just feel that it's probably better just to cast a spell that gains control of one of your opponent's creatures. So the thing about it, though, at least it is untargeted. So that's an interesting way of doing it. It's a decent card. I don't know how much I'm gonna actually like it. Okay, last card for sure. White Orchid Phantom. 10 mana, 2/2 with flying and first strike. When this creature enters the battlefield or is reinforced, destroy up to 2 opposing land supports at random. Oh man, that is cool. Because that's going to be easy to be destroying lands that way. When opposing support is destroyed, reinforce each creature you control. Okay, so does this trigger every time you reinforce? Because when you enter the battlefield, it's going to be destroying the 2 opposing land supports. So when that opposing land support is destroyed, it's going to be reinforcing, and then you're going to be destroying another land support. So you can basically wipe your opponent's land supports out just by casting this card. And there are some silly, evil land supports in Standard right now from OTJ. So this is going to be a nice counter to those supports. Yeah, this is probably going to be a good sideboard card. You just never know what your opponent's going to be playing, but I do think this card is cool. When opposing support is destroyed. So, will this work when your opponent is destroying, say, clue tokens or gold tokens too? Because if so, then yeah, this card is nuts. Actually, this is a really good card to go out on because it is a very strong card. And yeah. All right, so I'll be back hopefully tomorrow to review the rest of these cards. But so far, this has been a very good set. And it's going to be very much worth your time and energy to be chasing a lot of these cards with crystals. I imagine most people won't be able to complete the set anytime soon. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see these cards out in the wild and how often we will see them. So, all right. Yeah. Take it easy, everyone, and have fun going through all these new cards and looking through the release notes. I haven't even done that yet, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now.